Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation, which will communicate some improvement items that the Ruth Lake Planning Committee has been discussing over the past 8 months. With the vision and efforts of club leaders of the past and present, we have an outstanding club today. Our membership continues to grow with new memberships outweighing attrition. Following the 2015 enhancement program, we have welcomed over 100 new families to Ruth Lake. This is not uncommon to see growth after improvements here, as we saw spikes in membership after the clubhouse rebuild in 1995 and after our golf course renovation in 2004. While we have a great club today, we need to continue addressing our needs, maintaining and improving, looking at new opportunities, and like all successful clubs, moving forward. When looking at the club today, we have a healthy, active membership, we are financially sound, we have a vibrant social atmosphere, a top-level golf course in layout and conditioning, and comfortable facilities. Looking at tomorrow, moving forward, we want to maintain our membership levels, both in retaining our current members and attracting new. We must be fiscally responsible and maintain our financial health and have a balanced budget on an annual basis. We must maintain property, facilities, and equipment. This is that asset replacement charge that we have on a monthly basis. This helps us pay for new grounds equipment, updating our clubhouse interior spaces, new kitchen cooking equipment, property infrastructure improvements such as driveways and parking lots, our course irrigation system, facility heating and ventilation units, technological equipment, and pool, tennis, and platform facility updates. We also must look forward to improve our current facilities and consider new facilities, amenities, to fulfill the demand of current members and future members. The Planning Committee, appointed by the board, was charged with identifying, reviewing, and evaluating facility property improvement opportunities. Improvement opportunities that the Planning Committee has evaluated were identified in past member surveys and through club committee recommendations. These are some of those improvement opportunities: range tee expansion, course bunker renovation, improved 18th hole pool crossing, regrassing of the fairways, adding a fitness facility, renovating of our tennis facility, a clubhouse exterior update, a west patio expansion, cart path replacement, a golf learning center, and a short range renovation. The Planning Committee reviewed and evaluated all these improvement opportunities, and they determined the items to consider based on providing expected conditions, fulfilling demands and improving our facilities, and improving offerings and amenities provided. The proposed improvement items to address today from the Planning Committee include the clubhouse exterior updating, a west patio expansion, practice range tee expansion, short game range renovation, course bunker renovation, cart path replacement, an improved 18th hole pool crossing, and also the regrassing of fairways. The first item that the Planning Committee proposes we address is our aging clubhouse. This is a front picture of our 23-year-old clubhouse. We've got a roof that's starting to show its age. We haven't seen any damage thus far, but we do have a concern over the age of the roof and the time for its replacement. We have engaged an architect to help us through this process, to look at what this clubhouse could be and to look at something that would be more representative of Ruth Lake today. Here's one concept that the architect has provided us and one that the Planning Committee supports. This is the front face of the clubhouse. As you can see here, we've added some new decor here in the front. We've added stone here to the chimney and also out of the front door. There'll be a new door system. Some planking and a window here on that front face, and some metal roofing up on the dormers up top here. You'll also see here in this concept, in addition to what this is our current storage room, what we've done is expanded that by about 100%, gives us more storage, much needed storage here on our front level. As we go to the east side of the clubhouse, you can see here, this is where the golf shop is, moving over into the ladies' locker room and the stairway and over to the men's locker room expansion. You start to see some aging on this roof here. Again, something we certainly need to do very soon. As you look at this east side, the concept provided by the architect, again supported by the planning committee, you can see some metal roofing here over the golf shop, some stone below the bay window, also some metal roofing above the dormers again. This is a metal roof over that outside patio, outside the men's locker room, that provides some shelter and provides some privacy down in that area as well. You can also see stone here on the chimney outside of the dining room. As you move to the north side of the clubhouse, this is what you see today from the 10th tee or from the pool area. Again, you can see that east patio here, our dining patio, across the dining room and into the Lakeview room. The concept here, again, if you start on the east side, this is that proposed roof over the men's locker room patio. You see our current dining patio here. You got some decorative planking, some brick that replaces the drive-it here. Some metal roofing over the dormers. Again, this is our dining room. And then as you move into the Lakeview room here, you will see some expanded openings here, some larger windows, much larger than what we have today. Some great viewing out of that area out to the 10th tee. And some update to this bay window, some stone underneath and some metal above. As you continue to move to the west, you see what appears to be an expanded patio, and that's exactly what it is. This is a proposed expanded patio on the west side, a stairway down, and we're going to show you a little bit more about that as we move to the next slides. This is our west face of the club. Faces out toward the 9th hole, the 10th hole, if you will. There's a slight slope down, patio up there as well. This is right outside of the Lakeview room here and also the ballroom. This is a concept for that west side. As you can see here, Lakeview room, we would replace the windows on that west side with some larger windows, better views out here. This little stone wall here is surrounding a small patio that we like to call the sunset patio. This would be a little patio that members could walk out onto if they're utilizing this Lakeview room, kind of a private little patio that allows you to enjoy the sunset. This stairway down comes down off of that patio, allows members and guests to come down toward that 10th hole. A nice walkway to what we utilize as a wedding ceremony area down in that 10th fairway area. As you move along this way, you'll see a patio that's very similar to the look that we have on the east side. This is white brick with the pillars, lights on top. Outside of this ballroom, then, you've got new doorways and new openings here. Very large windows with a nice view out onto that proposed patio and new doorway here. And what you see here is an expanded storeroom coming out to the west from our current storeroom. And this is our loading dock area with a little better blind down in that area. Let's look at the west patio. The west patio expansion, additional storage. Again, we talked about the storage, being able to provide more storage on this main level of the clubhouse. But this is your current west patio. Useful, but not very useful. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. We use it for special events, but the size of it really doesn't allow us to do much out there. There is some opportunity to do some real neat things out here, and this next slide is going to kind of show you what we can do with this patio. This is an architect's drawing of what this patio could turn into. Basically, we've tripled the size of what we have today. Right now it's about 15 feet wide. This is a 50-foot wide by 70 long patio. As you can see here, the sunset patio coming off this Lakeview room could be accessible from our current north patio if members wanted to come over there, enjoy some drinks, enjoying the sunset, which comes out from about here. Real nice area. If you're utilizing the Lakeview room this is a nice spot for that private group to have a small little patio to enjoy. Again, that stairway down. On this new west patio at 50 by 70, this provides us with a lot of opportunities for entertainment, socializing out there. A lot of times for our membership parties, the Invitational, the summer party, various other parties, Independence Day, that type of thing. But also provides us a great venue for the private parties. A much more attractive venue than we have today. At 50 by 70, that allows us to put a 40 by 60 tent on it if we wanted to. Basically allows us to double the space of the ballroom. If we were to attach that tent to the ballroom openings, put in some air conditioning or heating, now we've got double the space that we have today for our ballroom events. You can see here, this is expanded storage that we talked about a little bit earlier. Right now, we've got about 50% of that storage space. This would be expanded, so we double that space. And in this drawing, we've got a little service bar there. That would be kind of a permanent outdoor bar top that will allow us to bring out products to utilize as a bar for special events out there. It wouldn't be a daily bar that we would man or operate, but more of a special event bar that we could bring products out, utilize it, and then put the products away. This drawing also shows a trellis over the loading dock area. So this is what that new proposed patio can look like. As you see here, pavers similar to what we have on the east side. The railing system's the same with the posts, but just a beautiful view out toward our 10th hole in Ruth Lake. A view that many of us don't see today. Also, as you look into the evening time, this is where the sun goes down. These are the views that you could have on that patio at that time. Again, a great expansion of a space that's not utilized very much today, not very useful with the space that we have out there, and quite frankly, not very attractive. A second item that the Planning Committee proposes we address is the practice range tee. We have more activity on our practice range tee than we have on our golf course today. More and more people are taking the time to practice, work on their game. With an expanded membership, we have more and more people out there as well. So the idea is to find a way to give us more teeing area, not necessarily more stations at any given time, but an opportunity to move our stations around and be able to grow grass back in those areas that have been utilized. You can see that this is the current practice tee space. You've got the lower tee and the upper tee. You can see the mats behind and the cart parking. The concept is to expand the range tee to the south and to the east. We would create some new areas to the south where the bunker is, where the tree is as well, and out toward the back area of the tee. We would take turf over where our current mats are and move a artificial turf strip to the very back where that cart path runs currently behind the tee. We don't believe that cart path is very important for traffic out there. We believe it's more important to have more teeing space. But what this does is give us about 45% more turf tee than we have today. The artificial turf line would be behind that we would still use at certain periods of time. And the idea is that we would create some kind of cart parking. And at any given time, we probably have 6 or 8 carts up there at any given time. We would create some type of cart parking here, some circular turnaround that we would use for cart parking up at the range tee. Another proposed improvement item by the Planning Committee is the short range renovation. This is our current short range that allows you to hit short shots, some bunker shots as well. This area gets a lot of use. You can recall that we've had several times this year where we've been unable to utilize this area due to water and lack of drainage out there. So one item we want to address is the drainage. When we do that, we'd also like to add some improvements out there with some expanded fairway area toward the 15th green. We'd like to make some changes to the bunkers, give you a little bit different look, a little different feel out there. Convert this into a single teaching bunker. Add a fairway bunker out here for a few longer shots as well. we think this would be a very nice improvement for our golf program. Another improvement item is the renovation to our bunkers. Here's some pictures of current bunker conditions. As you can see, some standing water. Now, many of you probably don't get to see this because Dan and his crew usually get these bunkers back in shape by the time you get to play. But this is what we're faced with. We've got some aged bunkers here. There is a life to bunkers, and it's time to fix them. And it's really not a matter of just putting some more sand on top and calling it a day. It's really going in, fixing the bases, making sure that we have proper drainage underneath, and then coming back with new sand. We have an opportunity to create some really nice bunkers on our golf course. And while we fix the drainage and repair what we need to repair, we also want to maybe create some enhancements to our bunkers. So the objectives with the course bunker renovation are to replace the bunker foundations for better drainage and more consistent playing conditions. And also take the opportunity to do some reshaping of a number of the current bunkers to enhance both playability and aesthetics. This is a picture of a hole in a top 100 club in America. You can see some of the design shapes here and these bunkers. This is just an example of what we might be able to do with some of our bunkers. A lot of our bunkers out there today are oval shaped. Planning committee believes we can do something very special with our bunkers, create some different looks, a little more attractive look as well, and at the same time make them playable. Another proposed improvement item is the replacement of our cart paths. The picture on the left here is behind the first green leading to the 17th tee. This is a picture from this spring. The center picture is the improvement after we completed it. This is the cart path running from the 9th green up to the 10th tee. We have a number of cart paths that look this way, and while we've been kind of piecemealing them over the years trying to get them improved, we really have a lot to do. Here's a picture of the proposed paving plan for our cart paths. And really, when we're talking about paving, we're really talking about the brick pavers that you saw in the previous slide. You can see the brown areas here that have been completed, mostly around the clubhouse and here between 1 and 2, and then behind 1 green leading to 17 tee. These green areas are areas that either have been or are proposed to be turned to grass, basically removing the cart paths. You may recall we did that around the 17th green here to the right, removed that, it's grass now. And then the red areas are those that are proposed for pavers. These are all areas that currently are in damaged state, not aesthetically pleasing, and really warrants replacement at this time. You can see this one long stretch here next to hole 13. That's really used for our utility vehicles for the most part. We're proposing we remain asphalt there, but we've got a lot of cart path opportunities here to make this place look really special and function properly. The next proposed improvement item is the pool path crossing and the crossing for the 18th hole. You see it here. It looks pretty nice here. It functions fairly well today, but as you look at it more closely, you'll see it continuing to fail, particularly on the edges. This is a major thoroughfare for the club. It's not all about the golf carts traveling across to get to the 18th green. There's a lot of traffic across there, both from our walking golfers and from our families heading back and forth from the pool to tennis and such, and a lot of our children here at the club. This is a major thoroughfare and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be something that we feel good about on our property. Here's another view of it. As you can see, pretty clean. This is a picture from the spring. We've got a lot of growth around it now, but you can see the asphalt here failing. Over the years, we've put a little more asphalt on, but it's time to fix it for good and to make it representative of Ruth Lake Country Club. I think we all know about this. Again, it's flooded several times during the season as it comes from one side to the other. This is another reason to improve this area. Another improvement opportunity here is the regrassing of our fairways. Now, I'm sure that a number of people will say, wow, our fairways are really, really good. Why would we do anything with them? Well, as you can see in this picture, we do have some undesirable grasses in our fairways. Our greens are notably the best in the area after our rebuild back in 2004. They're pretty clear of POA today, but as we continue to allow POA to creep into our fairways, this is something that could eventually end up back on our greens. You can see here a lot of POA, undesirable grass, survives okay in decent weather, but really affects the playability on our fairways. Here's another photo of some undesirable areas due to the POA in our fairways. This has either been killed off or died on its own based on weather conditions, but really provides us with some undesirable playing conditions. And to go out there and regrass our fairways with a more tolerant strand of grass that can provide us with terrific playing conditions is something that the Planning Committee believes is very important for us moving forward. So to recap the items that we're proposing to address: the clubhouse exterior update, the west patio expansion, practice tee expansion, short game range renovation, a course bunker renovation, cart path replacement, an improved crossing at the 18th hole and for the pool, and the regrassing of the fairways. One of the most important questions to be answered is what will all this cost? Well, we did go out to some construction contractors to get some estimated costs on the proposed clubhouse exterior improvement and the west patio. We also worked with some golf course architects on some costs on what we would do with the range tee, the short game, the course bunkers and such on the golf course. These are the estimated costs today on what all of this would cost if we were to do everything today. As you can see here, we did add in some soft costs for architectural and engineering, and we also added in a contingency here. As you will see with the fairway regrassing, the note on the bottom, there will be a period of time that we would have to close the course to do the regrassing of the fairways. During that time, we could also complete a lot of the other work on the golf course, so it wouldn't be just for the regrassing, but we could also do the bunker project and the cart pass and such. So a lot of this work could be all done at the same time while we had the golf course closed down. You will see in this cost that there's an estimated loss of revenue as well during that time from guest fees, cart fees, and any food and beverage that's related to golf as well. One other item that's not being proposed at this time, but was an item that was discussed at the informational meetings back in May, and something that the Planning Committee believes could be a nice addition to the club, is a golf learning center. This is an indoor facility that allows you to hit balls in any kind of weather, basically, by opening up these garage-style doors and hitting out from an indoor area to the outside. This is a facility that's at another club on the North Shore here in Chicago. Really nice facility, has a washroom, has a little meeting space, and it has basically 3 bays to be able to hit balls out during really any weather, even in the middle of winter. Here's a picture of what the interior could look like in a golf learning center. You can see here on the ceiling there are heaters to provide heat even if the doors are open in the dead of winter. And you can see the mats. You're hitting out into the range from an indoor area. This could be used for teaching, could be used for warm-up at any given time. Again, could be a space that you can work on your game really at any time during any season. If it's really blowing, you could certainly pull the doors down and hit into nets. This is another picture of how it would work. Golf professionals could be teaching in there using technology. And
So what's next?
From a sheltered space. The Planning Committee would like to ask for member feedback.
Where might this
via
golf
an
learning
opinion
center
survey
be located?
The opinion survey is accompanying this
If we
presentation.
go back to the slide that showed the expanded range tee, in talking with architects and talking with the others that have built these facilities, this is the location that we believe could be great for a golf learning center. Be located right off the tee here. If you're hitting out on the range, you would be hitting out this way. This particular facility could also include a washroom, which could be accessed anytime when you're at the range, whether you're inside or out. It does provide a little bit of shelter from the number 2 hole coming toward the range as well. And it provides great access from our parking lot. Again, you come up on a January Saturday, pull right up, walk right into the facility, utilize the facility.
So what's next? Accompanying this presentation is an opinion survey that is important to help us determine what you, the members, want to get done. Your feedback from this survey will be evaluated by the Planning Committee, and the results will be shared with the membership. These results will be used in determining what will be proposed for membership approval. You, the members, will ultimately determine what gets accomplished. The opinion survey can be accessed by a link provided in the email containing this presentation. We ask that you fill out the opinion survey at your earliest convenience, sometime in the next 2 weeks. The objective of the Planning Committee is to evaluate the results and get back to the membership in a timely manner. We have a great club today, but we have an opportunity to make it even better. All of the proposed improvement items will further enhance our club, and the Planning Committee believes these items are important to address today. This concludes the presentation. I hope that you found it interesting and informative. Should you have any questions on the items presented, feel free to ask me or any of the Planning Committee members. Thank you for participating.